You are listening to The Ron Van Dam Show. That's one part blah, 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 one part ha, 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 and just a smidgen of ta-da!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's The Ron Van Dam Show.
Ho, ho, ho.
Hold on tight. Things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
That's how you call a ho. Ho, ho, ho. But let's not go there. It's the holiday season. There's a holiday taking place. It's called the Christmas thing. Or, of course, in the general area, the general vicinity of Hanukkah and other things that happen at the same time. I was going to do today's show live from a church, but they wouldn't let me in for so many reasons. Happy holiday, holy day. It's a holy holiday, holy holiday. Sounds like a Batman thing, doesn't it? Holy holiday, Batman. Well, right off the top of the show, I'm going to wish you and yours, whatever yours is, the happiest of holiday seasons, no matter what your background religiously or whatever may be. It's still a time of reflection. And maybe that's not a good idea to reflect. That didn't work out. It's time to gather around the campfire, unless you're in an area that hasn't had rain in a while, and give thanks. Oh, that was Thanksgiving. I got these holidays all mixed up. They come so close together. The funny part to me is there are some parts of the country, like in California, Arizona, where you're celebrating Christmas and there's like no chance of snow, and you got to turn the air conditioning down so you can hear each other talk in the room. It's not a Christmassy kind of thing. If you look at television and all the books and all the movies, Christmas is when it's snowing outside and there's snow all over the place and people are bundled up, not when you're outside barbecuing ribs. It's just odd. I could never live in a part of the country where the winter was not the winter. Oh, they know it's the winter. It's called the winter, but it's not cold, and I couldn't do that. I like being cold. I like bundling up. I think that's nice. I like to bundle. I take my home insurance and my auto insurance, and I bundle them together, and it's a good feeling. It's bundling. I don't know why they call it bundling. There's nothing warm about auto insurance or home insurance. There's just nothing warm about that. But I like to get cozy. You know what I'm saying? I like to get cozy. Yeah. I get some hot water and I make some hot chocolate. Oh, there's nothing like hot chocolate. But don't get the kind with a lot of sugar, because that's not good for you. They have the low sugar stuff, or that's better. I love the winter time. It's time for comfort food. They call it comfort food. Comfort food, here's a definition of comfort food. Way too much fat. That's what it is. Oh, I'd like to snuggle up to, a nice hot bowl of soup. Yeah, with like 2,000 milligrams of sodium in it per teaspoon. This comfort food will kill you. I hope you get comfortable in your hospital bed. Comfort food tastes really good. In many restaurants, not all, but in many restaurants, they actually cook in fat. But they don't tell you. They don't say, oh, order the food and then come back in the kitchen and watch us prepare it. No, you don't want that. You don't want that. My mother used to use bacon fat in order to cook, and she's no longer with us, and now I'm wondering how much time I got, because that's not a good thing. You don't cook in fat. What the hell are you doing? Take a look at your arteries, man. Comfort arteries, we call them in the wintertime. Comfort food is very fattening. You have to be very, 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 very careful. Summer is a lot healthier because you run around, you're moving around, you're sweating, so you're sweating out the sodium, first of all. And secondly, you tend to move more. You tend to do more things, more activities. You're out and about. I don't know what about is, but you are out. So it's a healthier time of year. People eat salads. What? Seriously? Yeah, they do. They eat salads, and then they put little pieces of protein in it, like a chicken or a little bit of beef or a shrimp or something. And that's a summer thing. So it's a lot healthier. In the winter, macaroni and cheese. You can't exist on that. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again as a matter of warning for the holiday season. I had a friend named Evan, childhood friend, went to school together, really good friends. He had a little bit of a heart condition, a little murmur in his heart, so at the end of class, there would be a bell that would ring and everybody would leave the classroom and go on to the next class. Evan would leave about 5 minutes before the end of the class. In the school that I went to in Teaneck, New Jersey, they had an elevator. So Evan would go to the elevator and take the elevator because he wasn't supposed to do the stairs because he had a heart murmur. And but he did everything else. Years and years later, decades and decades later, I caught up with him. He had a great job. He worked at WOR-TV, Channel 9 it's actually in New Jersey, but it's a New York station, independent station, ran a lot of shows. His job was to sit in the control room, and he would make sure that the picture or the video or whatever, the show was going out on the air properly. He would sometimes insert local commercials, that kind of thing. But he sat on his, what can we call it, ass all day. That was his job, to sit in a dark room with about 20 television monitors in front of him and a lot of buzzing equipment. And he'd sit there all day and watch TV of this one station. That was his job, to monitor the signal that was going out. And he sat on his ass all day. Now, for a guy that had a heart murmur as a child, and it had gone away when he got older. So as a heart murmur as a child, you don't want to you don't want to be a gym instructor or anything, or work at that Purple Planet thing. What do they call that? Planet Fitness. Yeah, that one, right. Yeah, that one. So he would sit there all day. So I went to visit him in New Jersey. I don't live in New Jersey, but I went to visit him in New Jersey, and it was good to see him and all that. And we talked, and he said, "Ron, let's go get lunch." And I said, "Great. What do you want to do, man? What do you want? Where's a nice place? I want to take you out to lunch, Evan. Where's a nice place?" He says, "Oh, I don't go to nice places. I like fast food." I said, Excuse me. Every once in a while, right? No, I eat fast food every day, sometimes 3 times a day. Evan, what? Perfectly fine. It's very, very good, man. At Kentucky Fried Chicken, they have got this value meal. It's got the chicken, and they give you all the stuff with it. It's really, really good. And I get the extra crispy, extra fried crispy in a bucket. And I said, all right, Evan, sure. And we went there, and this guy chowed down on this fried chicken like you wouldn't believe. And it was the extra crispy and all that stuff, and he loved it. And I took a napkin, and I started dabbing the chicken, and the napkin turned oily. It was like, whoa, baby. Now, I don't know if all the KFCs are like that. I don't go to these places. I don't go to fast food things because I value my life. But it's okay. A lot of people do what you want. Do what you want. It's free country, sort of. Well, it was. Anyway, so we're fine, and I said goodbye to Evan. It was really good to see you again. Hook up with you in a couple of years. Let's stay in touch. Sure, Ron. Yeah, no problem. And I go back home, and a couple of months later, I get a notification from his wife, very nice woman, and she says, Evan has passed away. And I contacted, I said, what happened? Oh, my God, what happened? Says, well, we were driving in the car, and all of a sudden he got very, very dizzy, and we pulled over, and he keeled over, and he died of a heart attack. It was the chicken. Now, I didn't say that out loud, but in my head, I'm thinking, it was the chicken that killed him. But it wasn't just KFC. He used to go to McDonald's, Burger King. I mean, he was an equal opportunity, destroy your body kind of guy. And, it was a sad time. But things like that are lessons. Who was it? Barack Obama? He was a who did he? He's the president. He was just the president. And he used to say, when you make a mistake or something goes wrong, it's a teachable moment. Use the negative things in life as teachable moments. And I thought, Barack, that's pretty cool. That's like pretty cool. So consciously I do. So when something like that happens, I say to myself, I am not eating like that. I am not eating like that. And as a result, I only go to a fast food place to pick up a tiny little hamburger on the value meal for $1. If I've just come out of the cocktail lounge and had a few too many cocktails, I have one of those because that's when my guard is let down. I'll eat anything. Hey, Ron, you want to jump off a building? Sure, why not? Otherwise, no way. But other than that, I don't walk into these places. I don't. I might go into a Taco Bell every once in a while, like maybe once every 3 or 4 months. That's also fast food. By the way, fast food is no longer fast. Have you realized that lately? When I go into a fast food place, which I never do, but again, when if I've had, a little loose, it's not fast. It's not fast. They still take like an hour to get you the little burger. Hey, wait a minute. I thought this was fast food. That's what we call it. That means you eat it, and really in a fast manner, you're on the toilet. That's what fast food means. That's how fast it goes through your body. Oh, I thought it was that's how quickly you get the order that you just placed. Oh, no, Ron, that's not what that is. It has to do with the digestive system. Oh, that's what you mean by fast. I so much misunderstood. Yes, you did. In a large way, you misunderstood. So anyway, that was my teachable moment. And thank you, Evan. Unfortunately, thank you. I will not eat like that. I will not end up like you did for that reason, certainly. I do the teachable moments. I do. Had a friend named Steve. Steve smoked a lot. He was a smoker. And he chain smoked. He smoked chains. Ron, that's such an old, stupid joke. Okay. He smoked all the time. There was always a cigarette somewhere near his mouth, lit. And he drank Diet Coke every single day of his life, probably about 3 or 4 cans a minute, it seemed like. And he was perfectly fine. And one day, gone. Very, very sad. He was a very close friend. I don't have a lot of close friends because people in general annoy the hell out of me. And it's not even general. It's also specifically. But in general, the human race to me has been very disappointing. Very disappointing. Not living up to its peace and love kind of deal, we're sophisticated, we're civilized. Yeah, I bought that for a long time. Then I realized you're nowhere near that. Maybe more so than other forms of animals. But in general, your peace and love, peace on earth, goodwill toward men. What, are you kidding me? What, are you kidding me? What, are you kidding me? No, that's not the way that is. Sometimes it's even the opposite. Don't give me that. Anyway, I was standing there at the cemetery when they were burying Steve. It was very, very sad. Barack Obama, teachable moment. I don't touch that stuff. I don't touch that stuff. Never kind of really did, but still, when things happen like that, they affect me. They are moments where you've got to reflect and go, do you want to go in that direction or not? And I go, not usually is where I end up with that. So, whatever. It is the holiday season. Happy holidays to you. I wish you the best. I really, really do. And you're going to need it. And I wish me the best, too. I'm going to need it, too. It's going to be a rough year coming up. I assume. We'll see what happens, but I don't think it's anything to usher in, we usher in the new year. Let's skip the usher. If the new year's going to come in, just let it sneak in, because I'm not celebrating that aspect of it. I'm not celebrating the end of 2024. That was a tumultuous year. I guess I'm not celebrating it. I'm just kind of glad it's over. But then when you're glad something's over, something wonderful is supposed to replace it. I don't have that feeling. I don't have that feeling at all. So whatever, those roller coasters where you get on the roller coaster and this bar comes down and it's strapped in so you can't fall out. That's what I feel like 2025 is. Like, hold on. This is going to be a bumpy ride. Buckle up, baby. That's what I feel like. Not everybody does, but a lot of people do. Anyway, happy holidays to you. Yeah, peace on earth. Yeah, that's not working out. You got wars all over the place. You got people in this country battling each other. We got a mental civil war going on here. So, whatever. Peace on earth is. Peace on earth. I miss John Lennon. By the way, one of the Beatles, in case you're not into that. He was like peace and love. And he did drugs too, and he's no longer with us. But not for that reason necessarily. His wife, Yoko Ono, is still with us. There's a joke there, but I'm not going to do it. And it's still too soon. But he and his wife, Yoko, would lie in bed publicly and just exist in the bed trying to contemplate peace and love. And I thought, okay, that's a nice direction, I suppose. I don't know if I'd lie in bed all day like that, but whatever. Of course, he didn't lie in bed all day. That was the publicity part of it. But it was the peace and love thing. I grew up at the peace and love generation. Back then, I was at the end of the baby boomer thing. And I was a hippie, sort of. I wore a bandana scarf around my forehead, bell bottoms. I was pretty cool. I was pretty cool. Had long hair, still do. And peace and love, yeah. That's everybody, a whole generation. Everybody who was in the peace and love generation grew up to be angry assholes. It's amazing how, we love everybody. Then they got older and then, I hate everybody. It's an amazing thing. Maybe it's just the fact that life caught up with them and demonstrated to them that your peace and love thing, don't go with that. Doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You're barking up a tree that does not exist. So there you have it. All right. I'm going to do something that I don't frequently do on this show. We did an interview just last week with a veterinarian, and she's a lovely person. And a lot of us have pets, and she warned us about, giving your pets table scraps during the holiday season, especially because that's when you do that. After a few drinks, you'll give scraps to anything. Don't do that. There are plants that people bring into the home for decoration and celebration. They can be poisonous to pets as well. I thought it was a really good segment, so we're going to run that again today. Because it is the holiday season, and I get a little stupid. And lazy, so, what do you want from me? Anyway, she joins us, but first, there's this.
I wanted to learn more about who I am and where I come from. My family history.
I've always been curious about my genetic background. What makes me, me?
I needed to know myself better, and now I do, thanks to Who Is I?
Who Is I is the genetic ancestry testing kit you can use right in your own home. Using state-of-the-art technology from 30 years ago, Who Is I's patent-pending genetic testing protocols have been proven to be 96% accurate in up to 14% of tests, with a highly acceptable 7 to 10% margin of error. In today's market, there is no other ancestry test this accurate that's also called Who Is I.
My Who Is I test told me that I'm 79% Italian, 12% Tasmanian, and 6% Oldsmobile. It was so easy.
Who Is I says I'm 18% New Jerseyan, 42% French toast, and 16% unidentifiable goo. That's so good to know.
With one simple nasal swab test, plus a fingernail, elbow skin, half ounce of toe sweat, quarter pint of blood or mucus, and 3 drops of fluid from your left eye, Who Is I maps your genetic markers as accurately as a slightly out-of-date road atlas.
I had suspected for a long time that I'm descended from the lizard people of planet Zargon. Now, thanks to Who Is I know I'm actually from Flugamir 7 in the Andromeda system. Plus, I'm 3% Arapaho and 6% slightly used paper products.
Your Who Is I results will tell you not just about yourself, but your whole family tree as well with just one simple test.
I always wondered about my ancestors. Now I know that my great-great-grandfather was a bicycle tire. Thanks, Who Is I?
Who Is I Home Genetic Ancestry Testing. It's time to get to know yourself better.
Michele Chin joins us. She's a veterinarian at VCA Emergency Animal Hospital, and we're talking today about, well, ever since the pandemic, everybody has a pet. I think that's true. I don't know many people that don't. And, we enjoy the holidays, and there's a lot of decorations and a lot of things going on, but we don't think about the pets and some of the dangers and concerns we might have with in regards to the holidays. But first of all, thanks for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I mean, I every once in a while, I'll find my dog doing something that she shouldn't be doing, and it has to do with things under the tree and things like that. Do we indeed need to spend some special attention to this?
Yes, I think it's very important. Some simple tips to keep our pets safe. Be aware of what is under the tree. Many people will give you gifts and you don't know what's inside of them. That's the whole point. But sometimes it can be chocolates, things that can be dangerous to them. Those electrical cords that we so lovingly put up to have those beautiful lights, those, of course, we don't want them chewing on them. So keeping those secure and safe, and just the tree itself, keeping that as secure as possible so it doesn't fall as they explore their world.
It's interesting because we find these things out after they've happened to us. And that's our learning experience. So it's good that somebody like you is saying to us, hey, watch out, this can happen. There's no question about it. I'm curious, Doctor, about plants. I'm a little confused as to which, because we have a lot of house plants and those holiday plants. Where do they stand in the spectrum of safety?
Yes, those holiday plants especially, we need to be well aware that poinsettias can be dangerous to them if they chew on them. It causes mild GI signs, but just to keep them away from our pet friends the best that we can. Mm-hmm. And mistletoe, holly, many of our most common holiday plants can certainly be dangerous if they chew on them. Something that most people don't know or think about are lilies for cats. Those are highly deadly and not a mild toxicity. So I would not keep them in any household that has cats at all.
Yeah, cats have the ability to go anywhere they want, no matter how high this. And again, we're amazed that they're able to do that, but only after the fact when they've done something that's obviously not great.
Right.
Another concern is Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays. There's a lot of food going around the table, and some of it falling off the table, some of it the dogs underneath trying to get a bite of something. In days past, no one talked about this. Dogs just ate scraps, but we have to be careful.
We certainly do have to be careful, and that's a great point to make. In days past, we did not know that grapes and raisins were toxic to our pets, and we have a lot of raisins in our holiday foods that we eat. So I think it's really important, number one, to try to keep your pet away from any guests or big parties. Keep them in a nice, quiet, safe, secure space. But if they are around and mingling with the guests, it is important to make your guests aware, just to try to not feed them scraps and to try to not take them away from their typical diet. And if something does happen and you are aware that they have ingested the grapes or the raisins or even a holiday bone, that can certainly happen as well. It's best to just reach out to your veterinarian. I know I'm there at 2 a.m. fielding all these questions, and it's best to try to get ahead of it instead of the wait and see what happens.
Well, it's like medical situations with people, too. There seem to be more of them on holidays because things are basically closed and there's nowhere to go unless it's, a hospital emergency. But, I mean, that's when things really happen, I think.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why we're there. And we're there to give you that peace of mind to make sure our pet friends are safe. And that's why we do what we do. And reaching out to us is so very important. It's a wonderful way for us to connect with you, say happy holidays, and hopefully we're telling you don't worry about it. But in the worst case scenario, we're there if you need us.
Yeah. Okay. What about in the Northeast? You get some snow, you get some ice, and even though it's not a holiday, we're putting ice melt down. We wear shoes. Our pets don't. What are some concerns there?
Yes, they do make booties for them, and keeping their safe and is ideal. Antifreeze is something that can be extremely deadly to them as well. So yes, that snow and ice, as fun as it can be, there are many toxins and hazards there as well.
Yeah. Puppies love to chew things, and I'm concerned about the electrical wires. I was, even when it wasn't a holiday, when you plug a lamp into the wall. How do you keep pets away from that?
Yes, it is our job to try to figure that out, right? And it is not an easy job. But keeping those cords up high out of the puppy's reach. I've even heard of people making little nooks for charging stations because they like to chew on our charging cords for our phones. Those nooks being pretty high and elevated away from our pets. Okay.
These days, people are doing a lot of sugar-free foods, which have these chemical sweeteners in them. Some of them, not too harmful. Some of them very harmful. Can pets tolerate that type of thing? There's a lot of sugar-free yogurts out now, and they like to lick that. And where does that stand?
Right. So those sugar-free treats you're asking about can be extremely dangerous and even deadly to dogs. Xylitol being the top offender. So I know a lot of people do make sugar-free treats for the holidays, so it's best to try to, of course, keep those things away. But if it does happen, give us a call. There are interventions we can do to save them.
Wow. But that requires a quick reaction, though, right?
Yeah. We're just a phone call away, though. That's the best thing.
Okay. And chocolate's obviously that's still a bad thing. That doesn't change, does it?
It doesn't change. The darker the chocolate, the worse off it is. And even things in milk chocolate, raisins, macadamia nuts, those can all be dangerous as well.
Yeah. People should tone that down, too, but that's besides the point.
But it tastes so good.
Yes, I know. And I guess it's edible for a human. Okay. Mm-hmm. People probably have tons of questions. Where would they go for information?
You can go to our website at vca.com. As I've mentioned, anytime you have any questions, we always welcome a call. And if you need to take them in, we just want to give you that peace of mind. So for the holiday season, VCA is offering 50% off of the emergency exam for anything that happens. It may not be holiday related. It may just, be accidents that happen. So, give us a call or bring them in.
Yeah, it can happen at any time. One more question. My dog loves to eat tissues, paper towels. Are they harmful?
It depends on what is in those tissues and paper towels. And yes, the question of eating tissues and paper towels comes up a lot. If it is one tissue, it also depends on the size of the pet, and any other comorbidities or any other illnesses the pet may have. Again, there's always a lot of questions, and we're always open at the emergency hospital to answer those.
Perfect. All right, one more time, the place to go.
At vcahospitals.com.
Okay, and then you can find the one closest to you. It's kind of good idea ahead of time, holiday or no holiday, to get that phone number and get that location just to know it, right?
Absolutely. I always say anytime you have a pet, you should always have that phone number just posted on your refrigerator or locked in your cell phone.
Great. Michele Chin, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it. Have a great holiday. Well, that'll do it for me today. Thank you to my guest. Thank you to you. I really do. I'm a sarcastic kind of guy. It's kind of humor that I do. This rambling kind of stream of consciousness. And I apologize if it annoys you. But I am a man of peace, and I did grow up like that, and I still have that in my veins. It is the one thing in my veins that I do have, and I do appreciate. And if more people can love, honor, respect, understand, accept, we'd have such a nicer life. We'd be so freaking happy if we really did all love each other. There are people that do, but not enough. It's a worldwide thing. It's a problem. But if we live our individual lives with peace and love, then that's a really good foundation. So spread that, will you? And that's my message to you. I'll be back again in a few days, but until that time arrives, well, I wish you peace.